Okay, in this short video we're going to be looking at creating quite a fun effect, and what we want to do is to lose the colour information out of all of this picture except for these beach huts. So let's begin just by brightening this picture up a little bit, as it's a bit dark on my screen here. So let's go up to Image and Adjustments, and let's do Levels here. And what we're going to do is just move these sliders just to the left, just to brighten up a little. Let's hit OK. I think that looks a little bit brighter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use an adjustment layer and its mask to globally desaturate this image. Then what we're going to do is we're going to paint on a mask so that certain areas won't have this effect applied to them. Now this will all make sense as I do it, so let's dive straight in. Let's click on the background layer just to make sure that's the one we've got selected. Click on this button down here, the black and white circle, which is our new adjustment layer button, and we're going to click on Hue and Saturation. This brings up a dialog box, and we're just going to drop the saturation right down, which as you can see just loses most of this colour. Let's hit OK. Now as you can see we've got a new layer which just with our adjustment here, and then this here on our this white box is, as you can see, the layer mask thumbnail. Now this whole box is white at the moment to symbolize that basically there is no mask at all at the moment. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to paint in a mask over these beach huts so that this desaturation effect does not affect them. So let's make sure we've got a black ink selected, and then let's hit the paintbrush, and let's get a nice big brush like so. Now let's zoom in using the navigator here, and let's start painting on our mask. So let's click on the thumbnail, and then with our paintbrush simply left click and paint back in this colour. As you can see, this colour starts to reappear. And on the right hand side here, on our layer mask thumbnail, you can see there's a representation of the mask we've put on. So let's keep on going. And it's quite a fun effect. And I think we'll keep this bit of grass in, as it seems to be part of the huts. Let's hold down the space key, and you can see our cursor turns to a hand, which then allows us to left click, hold down, and just drag the image across. Let's carry on, just painting back in the colour information. And I'm obviously being very fast here due to the time constraints of this video, but you can of course take as much time as you like and really go into the detail around the sides of these huts. Zoom right in and get the detail work done. Now here our brush is a bit large, so let's shrink it down, I think, to this one, and then here we can just paint the rest in. See, we just keep on going over the image just to bring it in, and you can see here our thumbnail is updating all the time to show how we're painting all this colour back in as we snake our way around. So there we go. Now if at any time you make a mistake, like say when we're over here, if we go accidentally onto this green bit of hedge here, we can unpaint the mask. All we do is we flip over our black and white here, so we've got a white brush, and you literally just paint over the area you've accidentally gone over, and it will remove what you've done, which is a very nice way of being able to fix any little mistakes. So here we are, I'm just finishing off these houses. I think I'll just carry on with these houses in the distance to give us a continuous theme throughout the picture. You can, of course, paint in individually these boats if you were to wish, or any of these people that are in the image, but I think I'll leave them quite happily in their black and white world. So once we're happy, we can zoom out and have a look. I think it's quite a effective way of doing things, and I can see I've missed a little bit as I zoomed out there on this hut here. So let's just make sure we've got all of this done. Now, one of the big advantages of an adjustment layer is that at any time you can A, paint things back in or out of that adjustment, or you can actually adjust the adjustment itself. And we do this by double clicking on this icon here on the left, which brings back our box. So if we wished, you could make this effect of these coloured houses slightly more effective by dropping the lightness of the image, alternatively going the other way, and you can see you can really make this effect all the more striking by doing so. And at any time you can go back to the original image just by hitting the little eye icon here, which takes this adjustment off. You can then of course put it back on again by clicking again. You can see what a effective way of using one adjustment layer is. Now, one quick thing before we finish off here is that now that we've got this mask here, which is masking off this desaturation effect, we can actually use it again. So if what we were to do is to hit the control key and left click on the mask, it actually turns all of this white area into a selection, which we can now use to do other things or other adjustment layers. So let's bring one up and let's just do a gradient map. And as you can see, it's actually simply affected this gradient over everything except for these beach huts again. So if we were to pick another one, you can see it literally keeps all these in action. Now where it's a bit rough, you can see here, is because I haven't really painted in this mask well enough, as I'm going a bit too fast here, but you can take the time to make this interesting effect work. So let's deselect, and there you have it.